Yo, yo. All right, guys. So exciting event number 6. Shout out to Gee. Shout out to Horvath, Brandon, Brent. Who got second to Horvath though? It wasn't. Uh, what's her name? It wasn't Brandon who got second to her. Was it Brandon who got second to Horvath? No, someone else did. Oh my gosh. Dang. Anyways, shout out to all of them. Shout out all of them. They'll show up. But getting to event number 7, guys. I think it's called the Gondola. Um, for that event, it's been exciting. It's been real exciting. This one looks like a long one too. Ooh. All right. Well, let's go.
It's the final day of competition at the 2024.
All right.
For the women coming in, it's a two-person battle for first place. Tia.
You know what I mean? Yep. This is what Tia wanted. She got cushion. You know what I mean? She got cushion. Damn, man. It's so sad for Gabby. I mean, that injury got her. She gonna be out. Whoa. Actually, who knows? Who knows? Gabby actually has a cushion, a good enough cushion that she might be able to stay at third. I mean, it was gonna be. I mean, those last places gonna be getting her, but she can, if it can hold her off for the next two? No, it's event 7. The next 2 events, she might get the podium. Yeah, she might get the podium. Oh man, and this one's gonna be interesting. This will be if Gabby gets third. Oh, and gets that podium placing. That's pretty dope. Like that is pretty dope. Shout out to her. All right, cool. Let's go. Let's get this going.
Toomey and Laura Horvath are way in front of everybody else. Gabby McGowan, unfortunately, has withdrawn from the competition due to an injury, which means Emma Tall right now still has to make up some ground, but that's the battle for third place. Emma Tall and a lot of women within striking distance behind her. Event number 7, we're going to see a new implement. It's the horizontal pegboard.
Man, this is going to switch some things up quite a bit.
Oh, that's cool. Look at that. Yo, we got some Ninja Warrior stuff going on. I dig that. You know what I mean? That's pretty dope. All right, 1 peg, 48 calories on the skier, 60 GHDs, 1 peg. All right, so there's a ladder down, going by multiples of 20. All right, cool.
1 pegboard. It's going to be horizontal, as you mentioned, Sean. They're going to ski 48 calories, and then it's chipper style, 60 GHDs, another pegboard, 40 cals, 40 GHDs, another pegboard, 20 cals, 20 GHDs, and they'll finish with 1 more pegboard.
Let's bring in Kiki Dixon, who's down on the competition floor.
Guys, this is the first time we have seen a horizontal pegboard at the Rogue Invitational. It's about 17 and a half feet long.
You know what's up? I would Gabby's injured the way she is. I would have her do this event. Like I was like, look, I know your ankle's all messed up and all, but you can hobble to each one. You don't need your legs for any other stuff. I mean, yeah, you'll be standing on it when you're doing the skier, but it ain't that bad. Like you just gonna have to just go through the pain. Just get some numbers on that. Just continue putting some numbers on that score. I would have her do it. Yep. Hobble to the next one. You can 1 leg hop. It ain't that far away from each other. Like do whatever you gotta do and make it work.
That the athletes will be traversing. I spoke with Dan Bailey, who was able to have a crack at it, and he said, first things first, it is truly legless. There's no opportunity for any contact with your knees or your feet. Next up, he said, risk versus reward, right? Yes, you can channel your inner Tarzan and Jane and get those big swings, but if you miss it,
Exposure to new implements like the horizontal pegboard. We're all about to see how she's going to adapt on the floor.
Oh, okay, she moved up.
9
all
women
right.
will be in this
All right, so I'm not seeing everybody who's here. I saw Haley Adams. I see old girl. It's gonna come down. All right, this is how I look at it. Haley's gonna blow through. She's a lighter athlete. Old girl might go through it. JD might be good for her too. Same for Haley. It's gonna come down to the skier, in my opinion. So it's gonna come down to the skier and how efficient you are as a skier. Because even if you're light, if you're not powerful on a skier, you're gonna get caught up by those who are more stronger and a little bit heavier. So all this is chill. The skier, if you can hold it down on a skier, you're good. So we'll see.
First of 2 heats.
All right, Spiegel, Wells, Barnhart, Williamson. I'm gonna put Williamson up there. I'm gonna put Spiegel up there. I'm gonna put Wells up there. I have a good feeling about that. Barnhart. So here, Williams, Barnhart, Spiegel, Wells. I think Barnhart's gonna do really good. I think Adam's gonna move fast, but I think she's gonna get caught up on a skier. Same for everybody else. All right.
We'll also be watching one of the veterans here in the scene, lane number 10, Emma McQuaid. Heat number 1 is underway, and we will see who can figure this thing out. 1 pegboard traverse to start. Now that pegboard, you can see the red line in the middle. You get 1 rep for each section. If you come down in the middle of a section, you have to go back to the beginning. And then the finish zone is clearly marked on the far side.
Hanging ain't gonna be tough for him. Like, hanging's chill. I'm gonna be real with you guys.
No, you're good,
The
Sean.
hanging part's gonna be chill.
You'll notice the women are going in linear fashion. I believe that's one of the requirements for the way that they navigate the pegboard is that you choose a line, the top, the middle, or the bottom, and you stay in line through your traverse. So there's no going vertically or down throughout each traverse. So you'll notice that's going to be another thing that demands even higher accuracy and higher focus.
So far, Amanda Barnhart, Emily Rolfe, Danny Spiegel, and Sydney Wells
Nice.
have gotten halfway through. See Danny Spiegel just about to the finish zone. You got to get both pegs in that zone and then show control and drop off. So good rep for Danny
Nice,
Spiegel.
Danny.
This is her first traverse, and now on to the ski erg. Danny Spiegel all by herself.
Oh, yeah.
The first woman to get done, and she'll get to work on her.
With how efficient she was on this one, she's gonna take this one. She's gonna take this one. Unless she slow down, because she is a heavier athlete, but I see Danny Spiegel taking over this one.
48 calories on the skier.
That was key there for Danny. I love the urgency that she showed getting from that pegboard back to the skier, because she knows if she has a slight advantage even on getting clearance from that pegboard, it's going to lend itself valuable to her as this workout continues.
Emily Rolfe now joining Spiegel on the skier. Just 2 women onto this portion of the event. Rolfe coming in 12th place overall. Her best finish was 3rd in event number 1. And now Amanda Barnhart gets a hold of the handles on the ski erg. And Sydney Wells is there in the pink top. So 48 calories here, and then it's 60 GHDs before heading back to the pegboard again. So at the 50 rep mark is when they'll make that transition, and there is Dana Perrin. Haley Adams still back on the pegboard.
Did she drop?
Now, Sean, I'm assuming that she must have come down at some point
Yeah.
to still be at that point on the pegboard. Probably had to reset. Going 1 peg at a time.
And she's going to have to work her way back to the beginning.
No.
Is Haley Adams. She had a really good start to the competition, a 5th and a 6th, but 2 straight finishes of 19th place. And then everything since then has been outside the top 10. As now.
And you can hear the crowd just getting loud, supporting her, letting her know, hey, she can get this done. Several women still back there working through the pegboard. We mentioned this is brand new. We've seen the pegboard historically in competition. We have not seen it horizontal.
There are 3 women who are back on the pegboard. It's Taylor Williamson, Taylor Howe, and Emma McQuaid.
Let Spiegel
Danny
go.
Spiegel's your leader right now in the heat. She's through 38 of those 48 calories, has 10 remaining. And Emily Rolfe currently sits in second.
Yeah, and you think about the musculature that these women are taxing right now, even as they do the ski erg. It's a whole lot of abs, it's a whole lot of lats, it's a whole lot of grip. And they were literally just putting that same musculature to work on the pegboard, traveling horizontally. And now the GHD looms, it awaits. It's the third movement. A lot of redundancy, a lot of crossover.
All right, Spiegel slowing down.
And now Spiegel.
Okay, so the numbers were off. Okay, I'm about to say.
On to her first set of GHD 60 reps here to close out round one.
That should be cake.
Emily Rolfe is now 3 calories away from finishing up, and Sydney Wells sits in third, trying to hold off Dana Perrin and Amanda Barnhart. And now Rolfe is done. She'll head to the GHD.
Emily already with an obvious faster cycle rate.
You're really seeing two contrasting styles here on these GHD between Spiegel and Rolfe.
That's right. Emily on the right, her cycle rate, she's really doing a better job at getting her hands to the mat and up to the pad faster. Chooses a bit of a different body position, hips on the other side of the mat, which shortens the distance that she has to travel because her knees can be bent more.
Sydney Wells now under her first set of GHDs. Here comes Amanda Barnhart. Barnhart 13th place overall. Her best finish was 6th in event 4. Dana Perrin also there on the left side of your screen in the all black.
We talked about how important this movement might be in this event, Sean, for women who were able to navigate the pegboards equally. So we knew, of course, coming out, that's going to be a huge focus of this event. But we also talk about the time that's spent in any given movement. They got to do 60 of these in a row. Someone like Rolfe right now, who seems to have a rep-for-rep advantage over most of the field due to her speed there in the middle in all red, this is really going to accumulate throughout the 120 reps they get to go through.
Look how far forward she is on that.
Yeah. And honestly, it really creates a very different stimulus on the hip flexors, the muscles that are just at the base of the hips, just below the abs. It allows her to get some rest from those and put more of the taxation right on those belly muscles.
Now Emily Rolfe and Danny Spiegel are done at the same time, and they will head back to the pegboard for round 2. One more pegboard traverse. As Haley Adams is still on her first pegboard. She and Emma McQuaid still haven't gotten through their first one. Taylor Williamson managed.
All right, I've been kind of quiet during the con. It's been exciting, you know what I mean? I'm just enjoying it, but I'm gonna have to I'm kind of like, I want to record this real quick. Hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. Where Emily Rolfe is positioned. I'm sorry. Let me get this text real quick. No. One second.
But you know, the thing that's underlying it all, the reason why I
They think I'm cool if I need to cut. All right, cool. All right, sorry guys. All right, let me record this real quick. Sorry, y'all. So I want. All right, look at everybody else. They have their butt in front of the pad. She got hers behind the pad, and they're not saying anything. So I want to like look at this. Emily Rolfe, right?
Due to her speed there in the middle in all red.
All right, hers behind the pad.
This is really going to accumulate
in front
throughout
of the
the
pad.
120 reps they get to
in
go
front
through.
Of the pad.
Look how far forward she is on that thing.
Yeah.
All right.
And honestly, it really creates a very different stimulus
I like
on the
that
hip
idea.
flexors. The muscles
And if it
that
counts,
are
cause
just
look
at the
at
base of the
hers
hips,
is
just below the abs.
in front of
It
the pad.
allows her to get some rest from those
Hers
and
behind
put
the
more
pad.
of the taxation right
Look
on
at that.
those belly muscles.
Now Emily Rolfe and Danny Spiegel are done at the same time, and they will head back to the pegboard for round 2. One more pegboard traverse. As Haley Adams is still on her first pegboard. She and Emma McQuaid
Haley.
still haven't gotten through their first one. Taylor Williams
She's
managed
doing
to
every
figure it
other
out.
one now,
She's on the
so
skier.
let's see what happens.
But the fight for the lead is now between Danny Spiegel and Emily Rolfe.
Danny really no hesitation. I mean, she ran back, got her peg set, and then immediately started her way across.
Is she gonna
Really
have
taking
to?
more
All
of a
right.
break, making sure that her hands
It's
are
like
grip
Adams
ready.
about to.
She knows
Come
she wants
on,
to make this
Adams.
count.
Damn.
Athletes do not want to have to come down. It's a huge blow even to your psychology, just understanding that you've worked so hard to get where you got to, and then you got to restart.
So 1 rep for each section of the pegboard, and you can come down, but you got to make sure you're doing it after you complete the section, or you got to retreat at the beginning. Danny Spiegel's going to do just that, take a break.
Wise choice there by Danny. It's a vet move, just understanding, hey, I know I'm ahead, but I got to stay composed.
Right.
No reason to risk failing a rep.
Emily Rolfe is just about there. And she can drop.
We talked about potentially seeing some Tarzan swinging, Sean, and we're seeing none of it here in Heat 1. All these athletes choosing to go the more conservative route, almost peg hole by peg hole, and not necessarily trying to skip a ton at once. There we see a couple skips by Sydney Wells.
Approaching the 8-minute mark, the third of the way through the allotted time, 24-minute time cap. Rolfe and Spiegel continue to lead as Danny Spiegel's now just about done with her second pegboard.
Nice. All right,
Emma
then.
McQuaid, the cheer you're hearing, has just gotten done with her first pegboard traverse. Now Danny Spiegel heads back to the ski erg. She's got 32 calories that she needs to complete.
All right, last time she was
The
ahead
144 rep mark,
by
but
like
she will
8
be done.
calories.
Scoreboard on the left side of your screen. The number of reps completed in the white section next to the athlete's name.
These numbers are
And
off.
Sean, that moment right there
They
that
be
we just
messing
saw
with me.
Rolfe complete, where you see the red line, but you know that both pegs have to make it just past that red line. There's a lot of pressure that you feel internally that you're like, I'm almost there, and I got to make sure that I finish.
All right, so Rolfe came in sooner than last
Spiegel
time.
and Rolfe, your leaders. Sydney Wells has completed the first half of her second trip down that pegboard.
I'm surprised to see what we would categorize as a suicide grip, where the thumbs are over top of the peg and not necessarily behind it. It seems like there could be some advantage to keeping a thumb behind the back of the peg to ensure that you actually get it into the hole to create more leverage.
Here comes Sydney Wells, 16th place overall.
I hope she does better overall. I hope she makes top 10, to be honest. Her sister's doing great. I think her sister got 4th. Or maybe she dropped. I don't know. I gotta look at the standings. But
just like that GHD sit up, well, the ski erg is almost like a sit up.
Danny has to stay ahead on these calories in order she's gonna win it, because Sydney Rolfe moves way faster on a GHD sit-ups.
This becomes very much a stamina and endurance test for those muscle groups.
Ankle brace.
Danny Spiegel only has 8 calories remaining as Dana Perrin is looking to finish up her trip across the pegboard.
All right.
And Haley Adams managed to make her way through the first half.
That's what's up.
as Perrin heads back to the ski erg, and Danny Spiegel's going to the GHD for the second time. The 40 reps here.
Danny still executing about that same pace that we saw her, but here comes Rolf. Now we understood there were 60 reps in the last round. They're going to be down to 40 here, but we know that Rolf has that faster cycle rate as long as she can continue what she established in round 1. So she should be able to close down that lead that Danny has here.
Oh, look at this.
They'll likely exit the GHD around the same time again, Sean.
Right,
Danny Spiegel's making her 4th appearance at the Rogue Invitational. She's won a pair of events. Her best finish was 8th in 2019. Danny Spiegel has got to get to the 184 rep mark. So now 14 reps remaining for her, as Sydney Wells will be the 3rd woman back to the GHD for the 2nd time.
Wow. Even, I mean, again, we talked about that cycle rate by Rolf, but now it's almost 2-to-1 there. Yeah, and we knew it. They're going to be exiting the GHD at about the same time.
Rolf, I think, has a slight lead now on Spiegel, about a half a rep up. And Emily Rolf and Danny Spiegel, as you said, off the GHD at exactly the same time.
Now we see, I feel like that last round, Spiegel was certainly more confident to get up and get to work a little bit sooner. And she's got to know in the back of her mind, if all things stay the same and she wants to walk away with this heat, she's going to have to stay at least 5 to 10 seconds ahead of Rolf before they make it to the GHD.
Past the halfway point as far as the time cap is concerned.
Spiegel with the hand position that I talked about having some potential value, Sean, where you get to actually guide the peg in with your thumb when it's behind it. Rolf with her thumb hooked around, so no real leverage from the back of the peg. But it's working for her thus far. There's a shot of Spiegel. Again, thumb behind the peg. Tends to create that forward leverage to drive it into the next hole with a bit more security. Anyone out there that's climbed a pegboard before vertically, because I can't even speak for myself. I've never had exposure to a horizontal peg experience, but vertically, for me, I got to be really sure, Sean, that it's going in all the way in order for me to leverage down for the confidence of the next hole.
I'm like, all right, sorry guys,
Sydney Wells,
like,
who comes in 16th place overall,
I want to post
is
this.
in 3rd place right now in the heat. And Rolf and Spiegel are neck and neck here. Oh, and Rolf is down. She's going to have to go back to the beginning of that section.
Sydney really anchoring and leveraging with her grips. It's going to help save her grip stamina, of course, just protect her skin a little bit there from the wear and tear of the wooden pegs.
And meanwhile, Haley Adams has just gotten through her first pegboard traverse, and a smile as she gets to the ski erg for the first time. You know, I think an old Haley Adams, before this newer version, that struggle probably would have, I think, really wrecked her for the rest of the competition.
I can agree with you, Sean. I mean, the pressure would have been different for her there. Right now, it's like she gives a smile. She acknowledges what's going on. She's struggling. The crowd supports her and is behind her 100%. She's like, let's go. I'm going to get to the ski. I'm going to get another shot at that pegboard. I'm going to make my way back there quickly.
Meanwhile, Emily Rolf is slowed down here and struggling now with this pegboard. Just a look at what happened. She was trying to get through that first section. You can see the right hand is not over the line, so now she's got to go back to the very beginning. So Danny Spiegel is starting to open up a significant lead as Spiegel in the background on the right side of your screen is onto the skier.
And Sean, that aspect of the pegboard right there is what I love most as a commentator and analyst, and what I fear most as an athlete on the competition floor, right? We talked about the red lines. You see that red line out of your peripheral, you understand, oh, I'm almost there. I'm about to get a break.
Right.
But it was there that Rolf was unable to get that second hand across. And it's heartbreaking because she did all the work for that rep, except the very final touches.
Spiegel is now running away with this thing. She's onto the GHD for the final time. She's got 20 reps.
Wait a minute, whoa. I'm sorry, y'all. I did not expect this change to happen. All right, what was going on? Wait a minute. Let's go back. I thought it was just gonna be Spiegel and Rolf, doing their thing.
That struggle probably would have, I think, really wrecked her for the
Okay,
rest of the
Adams.
I can agree with you, Sean. I mean, the pressure would have been different for her there. Right now, it's like she gives a smile. She acknowledges what's going on. She's struggling. The crowd supports her and is behind her 100%. She's like, let's go. I'm going to get...
Oh, shit. So, wait. All right, let's go back. Further. Let's go back. Further. Did I literally miss on that?
But it's working for her thus far. There's a shot of Spiegel. Again, thumb behind the peg. Tends to create that forward leverage to drive it into the next hole with a bit more security. Anyone out there that's
going opposite direction
before vertically, because I can't even speak for myself. I've never had exposure to a horizontal peg experience, but vertically, for me, I got to be really sure, Sean, that it's going in all the way in order for me to leverage down for the confidence of the next hole.
Sydney Wells, who comes in 16th place overall, is in 3rd place right now in the heat. And Rolf and Spiegel are neck and neck here. Oh, and Rolf is down. She's going to have to go back to the beginning of that section.
No.
Sydney really anchoring and
leveraging
leveraging with her grips.
All right,
it's going to help save her grip stamina, of course. Just protect her skin a little bit there from the wear and tear of the wooden pegs.
And meanwhile, Haley Adams has just gotten through.
Nice, look how happy she
pegboard
is.
traverse and a smile as she gets to
the
ski erg for the first time. I think an old Haley Adams, before this newer version, that struggle probably would have, I think, really wrecked her for the rest of the competition.
I can agree with you, Sean. I mean, the pressure would have been different for her there. Right now, it's like she gives a smile. She acknowledges what's going on. She's struggling. The crowd supports her and is behind her 100%. She's like, let's go. I'm going to get to the ski. I'm going to get another shot at that pegboard. I'm going to make my way back there quickly.
Meanwhile, Emily Rolf is slowed down here and struggling now with this pegboard. Just a look at what happened. She was trying to get through that first section. You can see the right hand is not over the line, so now she's got to go back to the very beginning. So Danny Spiegel is starting to open up a significant lead. As Spiegel in the background on the right side of your screen.
I see what happened.
The skier.
And Sean, that aspect of the pegboard right there is what I love most as a commentator and analyst, and what I fear most as an athlete on the competition floor, right? We talked about the red lines. You see that red line out of your peripheral, you understand, oh, I'm almost there. I'm about to get a break. But it was there that Rolf was unable to get that second hand across, and it's heartbreaking because she did all the work for that rep, except the very final touches.
Spiegel is now running away with this thing. She's on the GHD for the final time. She's got 20 reps. Great shot from our camera guy, Aaron Kelly. He's been doing hard work the entire weekend. Got to give him a shout out.
Mr. Kelly.
Thank you to the San Jose Sharks for letting us borrow him for the weekend.
Sydney Wells doing a great job.
Wow. And now, Sean, look, we got some company for Danny.
Here comes Sydney Wells, who's now moved into 2nd place ahead of Rolf, who is still on the first half of her third, not final, pegboard traverse. After all this, they have to do one more before they cross the finish.
Yep. And right now, she's at risk of slipping all the way to 4th place there behind Dana.
No, you have to get past this.
Spiegel continues to work as Rolf is off. Spiegel is now on her final pegboard rep, and then she has to get herself across the finish line. All by herself in 1st place.
This can be one of the most dangerous and frustrating situations to be in, Sean.
Right.
You're not terribly out of breath. Your body feels okay, but once your grip is gone, as we see Spiegel there trying to find any relief. She's trying to pump that blood away from her hands and forearms back into the higher parts of her arms so that she has an opportunity to make it across this pegboard.
She can just drop.
An event like this that can really shake up the leaderboard. Danny Spiegel has 260 points. She is 55 points back of Maddie Sturt for 10th.
Yeah, and I mean, look, we're at the beginning of the day. We got 300 points
go.
on the board and available. We're
That's
witnessing
what's up.
right now how much of a curveball this particular implement in this event is going to be to many, and that includes the women that still await to take the competition floor. Again, great move there by Spiegel.
Spiegel's got one section left. She continues to look at her hand. I'm not sure if she's torn or not, but Emily Rolfe is still trying to figure that pegboard out. She's dropped to 4th place. Now Sydney Wells is all alone in 2nd.
Yeah, Danny's bleeding a little.
Looks like she is managing a little bit of a tear there. The good thing about that with these pegs is that there's not a lot of hand change position, right? There's not a lot of extra friction and wearing on that. So it's going to bother her because, of course, she's got to deal with the moisture of her bleeding, but she can navigate this and finish it, and it's not going to be something that should get a ton worse as long as she can hold her hand still on the peg.
Sydney Wells is now ready for her final pegboard traverse, and we have 6 minutes
Those
left.
tears always get me,
24-minute
y'all.
time
I
count.
hate when people tear.
And you
Like,
look
it's so
at
nasty.
the different approach
It
from
feels
both of these
so,
women. Sydney has been a little just a bit more steady and methodical. She's wearing the grips, thumbs not behind
Right.
the peg.
I
but it has
always wear
saved
the
her
grips,
hands.
y'all.
Now, has she
I
been
don't
able
care.
to have
Jeez.
the awareness to know, hey, I'm
I
thinking about
always
the
wear the
last
grips. Safety first,
transfers,
yeah.
not the first one. And she was able to hold herself into a good situation and maybe make her move right now.
Spiegel's back to work and approaching the end. Left side of your screen. Wells will most likely take a break after she gets that left hand across the red line, and she will. And Spiegel's off, so she's got to retreat.
No.
So this could open the door for Sydney Wells, who's now tied with Danny Spiegel for the lead.
Well, this is where things get interesting, right? And we're looking at the tale of 2 different mindsets even. Sydney just had success. She completed a successful rep. She's built momentum through round 2 and round 3 to close the gap on Danny. But Danny just failed that rep, and it's a very different feeling. When you have success, no matter how tired you are, you feel the pain less. When you miss a rep, no matter how tired you are, you feel the pain worse, Sean.
You can see that right hand of Danny. Sydney Wells making sure, both these athletes really just making sure that
Man, let's
they're
go.
absolutely
Like,
ready to go here. Because
you
this is where
have to
talk
go.
about
It's not
some
like
no reps are a lot more costly than others.
you're the only heat. We
This
still
is
got
it.
another
Yeah,
heat
this is
ahead
it
of
for
you.
them. I mean, look at
And
what
if you
we're
want
ending
to
on the
catch
time
up
clock. If you
and
fail
get
one
better
or two of these,
placing,
you're gonna
you got to
simply
keep
be
in
given
mind,
out of time
you still got
before you
other
get an opportunity
athletes
to finish.
coming
Fans
in
watching ahead are like, hey,
that
what
are
is
aware
going
of your
on?
time.
Is there
So
stoppage time? Is this a timeout? No. This is their grip.
you're
is
halfway at the
completely
final
spent,
stretch.
and
You're at
they're
the final
trying to
stretch.
execute as much patience as they can.
Let's
so
go.
They can be sure that when they grab on and their feet leave the mat, that it's go time and they're going to finish.
Right.
Sydney Wells
There you go.
has started, and I think Danny Spiegel is aware of that. Looking to knock out this last half of her pegboard cross.
Come on, Danny.
This is about where Spiegel fell on her last attempt. That's where Wells is right now. So Wells is creeping closer, and then it's a sprint to the finish. So Sydney Wells close to taking the heat.
Got to finish. Got to get that left peg
Right
in
hand's
also.
good, left hand's good. Sydney Wells is done, and Sydney Wells is going to take heat 1 of
Sheesh.
Gondola.
Sheesh. You know what I've
Great
done?
execution there by
Honestly, okay, in this situation, you know what I've done? Because clearly she don't want to put the chalk. She don't want to grab the chalk thing and put it in her hand. All right? But you're going to have to find a way to callus that up, you know what I mean? Or put some skin over it. So, you know, if you just scrape it a little bit, pour it in, get some false skin, use the dust of the chalk as false skin, and then just go through it, you know what I mean? Use that dust as like a glove, fake skin. I'm trying to think what it was called. And just wing yourself through it, and then we'll figure out the rest after the event. But yeah, just scratch it, pour it in, clap your hands up, let's go.
by Sydney. Very impressed with her patience, her self-awareness, accuracy on that horizontal pegboard.
They're waiting on her official time. Danny Spiegel running into some trouble here.
to see it. You hate to see it. It's certainly something that's affecting her. And again, that's one of those choices. You gotta have that foresight, a little bit of foresight before you take the floor. Do you need to wear the hand protection?
Right.
Was she the only one that took the floor without the hand protection?
There's Dana Pran, who currently sits in third place. She's on her final set of ski erg calories. She's got to complete 16. Unofficially for Sydney Wells, right around, well, there we have the official score now, 20:33.03 seconds.
All right, so look, Gee moved up a place. Nice. All right. Danny just needs to just muscle through it. Get her head out the
accuracy of that left hand. And
come
I
on.
almost wonder because she's trying to reduce how long she has to hang from her right hand when it's alone.
Come on. Come
She's
on.
about halfway. Oh, just can't get it. 2 minutes left. Brand's got 12 reps remaining here on the GHDs.
So I'm real confused on this one, because a lot of CrossFitters are very familiar or used to training with their hands all ripped up. So I'm trying to figure out why she, acting a little different that her hands are ripped up, especially in this sense. It's not like we're doing muscle ups or pull ups or anything like that. We're just, going across the board with your hand. Like, that should not be too much of an issue to not complete it. You know what I mean? Like, you're mostly fingertips. Like, I don't know, something else is going on. Or maybe she's just not used to
She's
it.
going to get time capped. Brand, as we mentioned at the top of the heat here, she's got some momentum coming off her best finish last night. 4th place in event 6.
Yeah, and even Sean, understanding how this is playing out, Baran to be able to step onto the floor, complete the reps that she has with this new implement she's never touched on the floor at the Rogue Invitational. I mean, if she can get one rep here just to the halfway point prior to this time cap, we don't know how things are going to play out in the next heat because no one's really practiced on this thing. We haven't seen any of them execute. So this could be a really big curveball for everybody. So someone like Dana's got to take advantage here and fight for every point possible. Clearly, we're going to have a lot of athletes that do not finish this one.
Come on, Danny.
40 seconds remain. So Danny Spiegel, this is likely going to be her last attempt. Emily Rolfe continues to struggle as well.
Come on, Danny.
Spiegel is getting close here.
Come on.
Plenty of time.
One last peg for Spiegel. She's got
nice.
it. So Danny Spiegel fights through, and Danny Spiegel is going to get inside the 24-minute time cap.
Wow. Great perseverance by Danny there. Impressive.
23:51.50 seconds. But it's Sydney Wells who takes the heat.
Oh, my goodness.
That's going to leave a mark.
That's going to leave a mark.
I think a lot of people watching know exactly how that feels.
That's right.
Wow.
Me included, man. I've been there.
And that's why. Yep, her hands are, oh my gosh. Yep, good luck. Eesh. All right. Her hands are torn up, pull the floor up. Sheesh. Sheesh. All right. Well, we know why now. All right. Happy she made it, though. She didn't make it. Taylor Wilson. Anyway. What's up? All right. Cool. Next heat. You know what? Oh, man. Let's finish this. Next heat. 2nd place overall. All right. Let's hear a little bit of commentary. All right, here we go.
And having won the last 2 events, and she's only finished outside the top 4 1 time.
Yeah, Sean, she's got ridiculous momentum. Laura Horvath with a history of climbing. She loves to do that when she's not training CrossFit. Her grip strength is phenomenal. We see her do well with legless rope climbs, vertical pegboards. Anything that involves that strict capacity and long time under tension. I really like this movement for Laura, and we know, again, 2 back-to-back wins. She is itching for another one here.
3 events yesterday. You mentioned 2 wins. She also had a 2nd place. That was in event number 4. Lane assignments here. 10 women out on the floor. Horvath and Toomey will be right next to each other.
Horvath's going to do really well. Laura Horvath got a rock climbing background.
Who comes in 6th place.
And it's not just a rock climbing like she just did at Harvey. She did it as a sport, and she was very well at it.
A lot of momentum coming in today for Alex, and also a young woman who likes to hang, can climb some ropes, and I akin those movements with this horizontal pegboard.
You know, she don't win it top 3.
We will see who's figured this thing out right off the jump.
Event number 7, the gondola presented by Concept 2. These women are ranked in the top 11 on day 3 here at the Rogue Invitational. Starting off with the traverse.
Laura and Tia there side by side.
Oh, Laura making some good time now. It's really picked up the pace here.
Yeah, you'll notice that Tarzan style swinging that she's got. Watch her hips leverage side to side. She's able to have accuracy with those pegs each time she does that. Very rewarding and reduces time under tension.
Well, Horvath is going to look to go unbroken here.
You know, I mentioned she got the rock climbing background.
Tia opting to continue on as well. Just a little less of a rhythm for Tia, but still executing that same style, just a little less efficient.
55 points are what separates Tia from Laura Horvath.
That's wild. Look at her.
For first place in the overall
little by little, right?
Is done. So no problem for the defending Rogue Invitational champion. Now onto the ski erg for 48 calories.
And here she wants to open up as much as she can against the GOAT here. Tia's going to come quick and be able to
see, as long as Tia stays second, she'll be fine. So that's all she really needs.
And a handful of athletes are right.
This is 7, right? So it'll be Sunday. All right, so this is Sunday.
Emma Tall is lane 7. She's in 4th place coming in with 375 points. She's only 15 points up on Ariel.
Look at Wells.
Alex Kazan.
Brooke Wells be pulling it.
And she's someone else that we got to watch too.
That's
Sean.
what's up.
Clearly she got off the, I mean, look at all these
pulling
women.
It.
They all figured out that peg quite quickly. But Emma built some great momentum yesterday, similar to the way that Alex Kazan was able to, and equally has to be on our watch here for this event.
And Horvath now with 30 calories remaining. And there is Emma Tall, who started with an 8th place finish, but then had back-to-back 15th place finishes. That's what dropped her down the leaderboard, but she's been steadily gaining momentum. She finished 7th, 4th, and then last night to close things out, took 2nd place.
Oh yeah, Emma Tall was the one that got second. I remember now.
Those types of opportunities that really make the turn. She woke up this morning feeling good. Again, everybody's sore, but when you build off the previous day's momentum, it feels different for you. You're like, okay, now today's my day. I'm going to keep the charge going up there. She's got great upper body strength, and that can certainly act as an advantage here on this specific event with that horizontal pegboard.
This is her first ever appearance at the Rogue Invitational. She's been impressive so far. Laura Horvath, meanwhile, 15 reps away, 15 calories away from heading to the GHD for her set of 60 GHD sit-ups. Well, Ariel Lowen now is having some problems with that pegboard.
Yeah, and I was going to say, Sean, for her, clearly at this point, like, it's not just that she's missing pegs. Her grip is pretty shot, clearly. That's why you see the rest taking place, trying to reset her arms, reset her mind so she can give it another go.
She's in 5th place with 360 points. Well, that's big for Alex Kazan, who's looking to move closer to Emma Tall. That'll be a battle to watch here in this heat, Kazan versus Tall.
So we are watching Laura ski at about 1,200 calories per hour. Tia skiing about 1,000 calories per hour. So there's that advantage that Laura created right there for separation in regards to being on the GHD.
Tia Toomey got done early.
Maybe assumed it was 45 instead of 48.
It's 48 calories. He's got a couple more to complete here. Laura Horvath getting to work on her set of 60 GHD, so at the 110 mark, that's what Laura Horvath and now Tia Toomey need to hit before they'll close out round 1.
She'll be fine.
For the second time. Meanwhile, Brooke Wells and Alex Kazan staying close to Tia Toomey here for second place. They're on the left side of the screen.
Great to see Brooke up here on an event like this. I mean, historically, she struggled with some things like legless rope climbs or ring.
Tia is moving faster than Horvath on the JC.
In an event that can be very taxing upper body pulling.
It's not fast enough, but
really been working on refining some weaknesses. You see there on the right, chipping away.
Good enough that if things were to happen later in this heat, it'll give her an opportunity to win. Catching up, I mean,
a lot of these women with a similar cycle rate, not seeing
it's not
too many that are setting themselves apart the way we saw Raw.
Let me catching up. It's not a necessity in this sense. It's more just winning. All right, like Tia Toomey either have to just stay second and just go with the flow, or win it. So it depends on what her goal is. Is she trying to win it or just stay second? We'll see what happens. I would say in this sense, 92 to 76. She should just stay second and then ride it out in the last event. That's what I would say. All right, let's see. Let's go.
With her higher hip position on the GHD. Emma Tall there towards the mid top of your screen. Hips a little.
How about this? You know, I'm going to keep my headphone on. It's been on my ear too long. Tia just goes at a solid pace, leaving the door opportunity that if it does happen, if that door opportunity happens for her to pass Horvath, then go ahead and do it. But keep a solid pace that you're at a comfortable second place in this event.
Higher on the GHD, and that allows her to be sitting up just a touch faster rep for rep there compared to Tia and Alex Suzanne.
Laura Horvath is now 9 reps away from finishing up this first set of GHDs.
Yeah, Emma's rolling there. She's
Horvath is
really
moving
good
faster
clip.
now.
Doing a great job extending the knee, like straightening her leg
Well,
to initiate
like
the
this
sit-up.
Horvath event.
For her, this actually takes some of that force away from the abs and puts it more on the hip
Okay,
flexors.
she's going to move
Let's see if
efficiently on
Horvath
that
tries to go
pegboard,
unbroken on her second trip across this pegboard. She gets right to work.
Wow. You'll notice one of the really simple things. Again, watch her midline, her waist, moving side to side. She's not in a rush to ever skip a peg, and I think that's one of the big separators from the first heat. A lot of the women were in a rush to skip a peg. Laura skips 2 there. As I say that, of course, she's like, hey, I can do both. Don't worry about me.
And not coming down.
As cool as a cucumber.
Tia Toomey and Manon Anganese are now both off of the GHDs. And Toomey's right to work on her pegboard.
Wow.
Laura Horvath is done.
I mean, phenomenal.
32 calories now for Laura Horvath, as Tia Toomey is looking to go unbroken. Now for Toomey, just has to stay close to Horvath.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right, and she's a veteran, and she knows that, Sean, from a scores perspective. Look, Tia has already created a significant margin between her and Laura. And when you understand the way a weekend plays out, we're on the downhill slope. 300 points left. All Tia's got to do is really nip at the heels of Laura throughout, and she can handle her business on being crowned the queen of the Rogue Invitational here at the conclusion on Sunday.
Exactly.
Laura's got to come out, take some big swings, hit some home runs, and get first places, and hope that she can get help from the rest of the field.
32 calories on the skiers, but the 144 rep mark. That's when Horvath and Toomey will head back to the GHDs for a set of 40 now here in the second round.
Then it's just amazing, like throughout the years where Horvath started and where she at now,
Anganese in lane number 3 is
to be as good as she is. I remember when she was first starting out, and she was
her
just a
second
rook.
trip across the pegboard.
And
She
it wasn't a bad rookie.
in third place with Maddie Sturt.
Clearly, I mean,
Well,
look at
Maddie
what
Sturt
she's at now. But it's
is
just
on
cool
the GHD, so
to
Sturt has
see
overtaken Anganese for third place.
where they're starting, where they're at now between Tia and Horvath. Tia, you know what? Actually, let me say this. Actually, I did get caught side of Tia until she started winning, and then she just been winning and winning some more. I think she won 6 times
Known
now.
very patient
7
with
times.
the placement of those pegs.
So,
Very calm.
what she had like her rookie season, did she like compete
that little swing
twice before she
almost.
started winning? I can't remember.
It almost looked like she was going to come down a couple times, but that was a part of her strategy.
Winning.
Meanwhile, Horvath is done with her skier.
Well,
She's on to the
Horvath,
GHDs
she
for the second
through quite
time.
a journey to get to where she's at.
So 40 reps she has to complete now.
To be who she is now,
Looking for
it's
her
solid.
third straight
I think she's
event
a solid
win.
badass, and
We talk about
I
this
won't
GHD,
look
that's a
past
great
her.
game
I
developer.
appreciate her
A lot of
as an
people use
athlete.
that to go face down and train the backside of their body. Folks, if you've never tried one of these, they're not the same as a normal sit-up. And I'll tell you what, these women make it look a lot easier than it is, especially to be in the volume of 120 reps in this event.
184 is the number that Laurel Horvath is looking to get to. Maddie Sturt, who's had a really solid performance so far.
I hope she gets like 4th or 5th overall.
In points.
It's going to be hard to do that
Brooke
within
Wells.
these next 2 events, so she's going to have to do really well.
Now Toomey is going to join Horvath on the GHDs.
For these 2 events to get the 4th or 5th. I think she can move up 5 places within this event and the next.
Laura and Tia cycle rate just about the same. Laura with such a lead now. She's in complete control of the pacing.
Now Horvath is done back to the GHD, pardon me, the pegboard for the 3rd time.
Not even going to take a moment to chalk her hand, Sean. No hesitation, no pause.
Laura Horvath and Tia Toomey are the only 2 women to win Rogue Invitational Championships. Horvath has got 2, Toomey's got 3, and they're the only 2 women to win an event this year.
Right. Right.
Yeah, we got a chance here. I mean, look, all things hold the same. Laura's going to get an event win here, it looks like. Can't speak too soon, but look at the way she's navigating that pegboard.
And once again deciding to not come down halfway through. She's got unbroken both times she's been on this thing and looking to do it again here in her 3rd crack at this thing.
Look at that. Horvath even doing her bare hands.
I can't speak enough about the accuracy that she's able to put into practice here. I mean, and when we train this way, when we train CrossFit as a methodology, we develop so many skills, and she's putting that on a very high level of display right now.
And Tia Toomey's now just getting started on her 3rd trek across the pegboard. And just to throw this out there, because it's going to be academic here soon, Sydney Wells has the top time of 20:33.03 seconds.
I mean, oh, they're flying. They're flying. Tia executing a bit of a mixed grip, right? The thumb behind the peg on the left hand.
Oh,
looped around on the right.
Managed to get that sorted.
Yeah, it pays to be strong, Sean. You know,
right.
I mean, look, she has a little bit more buffer for those errors. She knows she can hang on with one hand.
Well, there's a chance Laura Horvath might be done with her skier before Toomey gets done with this pegboard.
Yeah.
Horvath has now
Just
2
chill.
calories remaining. And Toomey's done. And she'll head to the the skier as Horvath heads to the GHD.
Wow.
But the good news for Toomey is she is right behind Horvath here in this heat. All she'll surrender if this
So as
stays
you can
is
tell,
just
for
5
this
points.
event, it's just more of a skill issue.
Make up 55 over 3 events in order to
for
overtake Toomey for the top spot on the leaderboard.
You know, she did really well for what it is.
And there is Maddie Sturt, who's fighting
you know, when you got a background like
for
that,
3rd place in the heat.
You know, it's kind of inevitable
and I'll tell you,
for
Sean,
you not
this
to do well.
leaderboard
And
below the top 2 is going to get really, really
so
interesting
she knows how to,
as we see things start to shake out here.
Come up with a game plan and
Well, you mentioned that because Emma
execute
Tall
what's
right
best
now,
for
you
her.
would assume would be the woman who would wind up in 3rd place. Gabby McGowan is still on the leaderboard, but she has withdrawn from the competition. She has a sizable lead on Tall. McGowan will probably still stay in 3rd place, despite the fact that she is skipping this event, but we still have 2 events remaining. And Gazan is making up points right now on Ematal for fourth.
Laura with no hesitation, deadly accuracy right here on these pegs.
Efficient.
I mean, this is the final
fast.
trip, and she's about ready to just absolutely decimate the
calm.
top time.
Manon taking notes, looking behind her like, what is she doing back there?
She moves so smooth. I bet if there was another
climbing background,
like
so she's
extension
used
to
to this
it,
type of thing.
That's right. And that's huge. I mean, look at even the composure there. She did miss one, but it's like you didn't even see the look change on her face. Nothing.
I mean, this has just been a clinic by Laura Horvath.
Right.
Whoa.
Imagine.
This is that last one. Figures it out. Laura Horvath make it 3 in a row
walk
for the
across.
defending
Look
Rogue
at that.
Invitational champion.
With it 13:30. Right. Oh my God. She blew out the other people in like 10 minutes.
13:34.65 seconds. That's nearly 7 minutes faster than Sydney Wells. And Toomey's also onto the pegboard for the final time. So despite the dominance that Laura Horvath showed in this event, she's only going to pick up 5 points on Toomey. Now Gazan, meanwhile, is going to pick up a bunch on Ematal.
Making her way back to the GHD. Tina holding on.
Tia executing about as smooth as she started this whole thing with.
Still making those big 3-peg moves. Here it comes.
Toomey is done. Second place finish for Tia Toomey. And 95 points for her.
Wow. It's frustrating when you are a competitor and you're like, hey, this is my jam, I'm gonna crush it, and then you gain a measly 5 points.
Well, this is always the problem that you saw with Matt Fraser too. It's like, yeah, you can beat him in an event, but you need a lot of other people to get in there too. That's right. And obviously Toomey is beatable, but not by a bunch of people.
That's right. That's right. And that's why we, hey, that's why we do what we do. We want to strengthen weakness. We want to minimize the deficit of our fitness in any given event. They throw something at you.
Said.
Well, hey, you don't have to be the best.
Who says going to win this
one?
You want to
be
Which
towards
watch
the top
this?
every single time. And what we see that from Tia, we see that from Laura. Laura even able to minimize a lot of her weakness that appeared in the form of those strict handstand push-ups, taking a 14th on that event. That says a lot.
Maddie Sturt and Alex Gazan are onto the pegboard for the final time. So is Manon Engadez.
Takes a break.
Gazan is halfway through. This is going to be a big result for her.
Yep.
If this holds, she'll finish in 3rd place. It'll be her 4th straight finish of 6th or better and her best finish of the competition.
Again, a young athlete, very strong in the upper body, good focus. Coach really likes her chances of becoming one of the top women in this sport, and it starts with top-level performances here at the Rogue Invitational.
Alex looking to hold on. Quite the save. We've just passed the 16-minute mark right now.
I want to say that's one of the biggest separators here, Sean.
You know what? Let me see this. This is exciting. All right. I'll put it safe for it. It is exciting. This is the first time I see Brooke Wells get beat out by her sister in one of the events. Brooke Wells has been dominating her sister, but this is the first time I see Brooke Wells get beat out by her sisters. All right, so this is cool. It's cool for seeing finally get something going. All right.
Is that every athlete so far has had a whiff or a miss, but do you have the cool and calm approach and the upper body strength to just hang on and get that peg back where you missed from?
Gazan has got to get that left hand across the red line. She'll do it, and Alex Gazan is going to finish 3rd in the event and pick up 90 points in the process. Manon Engadez, who came in 7th place overall, 345 points. She's only 30 back of Ematal.
Sean, Manon just tapped that thing to her hip before she... There goes Maddie.
Maddie Sturt is now in. And she'll take 4th place in the event. As Zanganeh is looking to be the next woman to finish up.
Coming into this event in 10th, so great finish there for Madeline Stern.
Now these ladies still have a lot of time to work through this.
Damn.
Every rep is going to matter.
All right, so I'm going to call it there, y'all. I'm going to call it there. I'm good for now. I need to take a break. My mouth is dry, and I'm getting brain fogs, y'all. But event 7 for the women's. All right, now we got event 7 for the men's, but we're going to take a break. Hope you guys been enjoying this. Catch y'all later.